Okay, so get this, listeners. Today, we're going deep on quantum computing.
Sounds pretty complex.
It is, but also fascinating. We're focusing on Google's new Willow chip, and the buzz is, well, Google themselves say it might be using power from parallel universes.
Yeah, that's caught a lot of attention.
Sounds like sci-fi. But that's what we're here for, to separate the hype from the real science. So, first things first, what is Willow? What makes it different from, our laptops and phones?
Willow is the most advanced quantum computing chip we've got so far. Instead of bits, like a 0 or a 1, it uses these things called qubits.
Okay, I've heard of those, but refresh my memory.
So qubits, get this, they can be in multiple states at once. It's like, imagine a light switch that's both on A and D off at the same time. That's kind of what's going on. And that lets Willow calculate way faster than any regular computer.
All right, I'm with you so far. But this parallel universe thing, that's where my brain starts to melt a little.
It's mind-bending, for sure. Harm Nevin, the guy leading Google's quantum team, he's the one who said, Willow's performance is so crazy good, it's like it's borrowing power from other universes.
Whoa, hold on. So is he saying there are actually other universes?
That's where it ties into some pretty wild theories, like the multiverse theory from David Deutsch. He's a big name in quantum computing. He thinks the whole universe is like one giant quantum computer, and maybe Willow is tapping into that.
So this chip is pulling info from other dimensions. That's a lot to process.
It's a huge claim, and not all scientists are on board with that interpretation. But Deutsch's ideas are definitely interesting, and Willow does make you wonder about what's really possible, the nature of reality and all that.
I can see why people are freaking out a little bit. But for us non-physicists out there, break it down. How does quantum computing work?
All right, simple version. Regular computers, they use bits, right? 0 or 1. Quantum computers, they use qubits. And thanks to quantum mechanics, they can be both 0 and 1 at the same time. It's called superposition.
Superposition. Got it.
Think of a coin spinning in the air. It's both heads and tails until it lands. That uncertainty, that being in multiple states, that's the key to quantum power. Willow can explore tons of possibilities at once, so for certain problems, it's lightning fast.
So, real-world examples. What can Willow do that our computers can't?
Let's say drug discovery. Imagine designing a new drug by simulating how molecules interact, like at the atomic level.
Yeah.
Super complex stuff would take regular computers forever, but Willow could potentially do it in days, maybe hours. New medicines, way faster.
So cures for diseases we can't even touch right now. That's huge.
That's the hope. Or revolutionizing material science. Imagine materials with properties we've never seen, totally changing industries like energy or transportation.
Okay, now that is mind-blowing. But you said Willow's performance might be linked to this multiverse theory. Are there scientists who don't buy that?
Oh, absolutely. Deutsch's theories are cool, but there's lots of debate about parallel universes. Do they exist? Can Willow actually reach them? We don't know for sure. Some scientists think there are other reasons for Willow's speed, and we need more research before jumping to multiverse conclusions.
So lots of unknowns, but Willow definitely opens up some wild possibilities. Speaking of wild, you mentioned the quantum apocalypse earlier. Can you remind us what that is and why some folks are worried?
The quantum apocalypse, it's the fear that quantum computers could crack the encryption protecting all our online stuff. Bank accounts, government systems, all that relies on math problems that are super hard for regular computers to crack.
So a quantum computer could just waltz right in.
That's the concern. However, Willow is still early days, and people are already working on quantum-resistant encryption.
Like a race against time, then.
You got it. Developing new tech and making sure it's used safely, it's a constant back and forth. And with quantum, the stakes are, well, pretty high.
It sounds like we're on the edge of something huge technologically, but with some serious risks too. What happens next? Where does quantum computing go from here?
The next step is to make quantum computers even better. More qubits, more stability, unlock even more power. And we need new algorithms, specifically for quantum computers, to really make use of that power.
And what about these risks? Anything being done about the whole quantum apocalypse thing?
Oh yeah, lots of work on that front. New encryption methods thought to be quantum resistant. Governments and organizations are prepping for a post-quantum world. Lots of research and strategizing going on.
Good to know folks are on it. This is heavy stuff, but also super fascinating. Willow is just the beginning, right?
Absolutely. We're barely scratching the surface of what quantum can do. Medicine, materials, AI. The possibilities are honestly mind-boggling. But like any powerful tech, we got to be careful, make sure it's used ethically for the good of everyone.
Couldn't agree more. That's a good spot to pause for now, I think. This has been incredibly insightful, and I bet our listeners are just as hooked as I am. We'll be back soon to dig even deeper into what quantum computing could mean for us, the good and the bad. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you've had some time to let all that sink in. Quantum computing, it's a lot to wrap your head around.
It really is. I've been thinking about what you said before about drug discovery. Using Willow to design new medicines by, simulating molecules? That's just wild. How would that even work?
So the thing is, quantum computers can actually model how molecules behave in a way that regular computers just can't. It can look at how atoms interact, predict the properties of new molecules, even simulate how drugs would work in the body.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty amazing. And that could mean designing super targeted therapies, fewer side effects, the whole 9 yards.
So instead of all the trial and error we do now, we could just design the perfect drug for any disease. Well, that's the ultimate goal, right? And personalized medicine, too. Treatments tailored to your specific genes, all thanks to quantum.
Incredible. You mentioned material science earlier, too. How would Willow change things there?
Think about it. We could design completely new materials, stuff we haven't even dreamt of yet. Super strong but lightweight for building cars and planes that are way more efficient. Or new kinds of solar cells, capturing energy from the sun like never before.
Okay, Willow is starting to sound like it could fix just about anything. But we can't forget the downsides. We talked about the quantum apocalypse, that threat to online security. Are there other risks we should be worried about?
One thing people don't always think about is jobs. What happens when quantum computers get so powerful they can do jobs that humans do now?
So some jobs would be created in quantum computing itself, but others would disappear.
Exactly. And that's a big question we need to figure out. How do we prepare for that kind of future? Retraining, education, making sure people are taken care of if their jobs go away.
It seems like every step forward comes with its own set of problems, doesn't it? We need to be thinking ahead for sure. But I want to go back to the multiverse idea for a minute. It's just so fascinating. Are there any other experiments, besides the ones we talked about, that support this idea of multiple realities?
Well, we talked about the double slit experiment and Schrodinger's cat, and those are great analogies, but we have to remember the multiverse is still theoretical. Scientists are still arguing about whether these parallel universes really exist, and if they do, how would we even know? Some physicists think there are these anomalies in cosmic background radiation. Might be evidence of collisions with other universes, they say.
Interesting.
But it's not conclusive, We need more research.
So the multiverse is still a mystery. But even if Willow isn't pulling power from other dimensions, it's still a game changer. What other fields could it shake up?
One big area is optimization problems. Finding the best solution out of a ton of possibilities.
Real-world example.
Sure. Imagine trying to optimize traffic flow in a city or figure out the most efficient delivery routes for, a global shipping company.
I see what you mean.
Those are ridiculously complex problems for regular computers. But quantum computers, they can look at all those possibilities at once. Potentially, they could find the best solutions way faster.
So we could use quantum to tackle some of the biggest problems we're facing. Climate change, resource management.
That's the idea. And AI, too. Artificial intelligence. Quantum computers could lead to AI that's so much more sophisticated, able to learn and adapt in ways we can't even imagine right now.
Okay, that's both exciting and a little scary, to be honest. We talked about the risks of super intelligent AI earlier. How do we make sure these advancements don't backfire?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Scientists, ethicists, policymakers, they're all trying to figure that out. We need rules, guidelines, ways to make sure AI stays under human control and that it's used to help us, not hurt us.
It's like we're at this turning point. So much potential, but so many challenges, too. What are your biggest hopes and fears about all this? What keeps you up at night? And what gets you excited to get out of bed in the morning?
You know what excites me the most is the sheer potential for discovery. Quantum computers, they could help us unravel some of the biggest mysteries in the universe. Dark matter, the origin of life. We could be on the verge of breakthroughs that change everything we thought we knew about reality.
It's like even with all the risks, there's this sense of wonder. This feeling that anything is possible.
Exactly. But what keeps me up at night is the potential for misuse. Like any powerful technology, quantum computing can be used for good or bad. It's up to us to make sure it's developed responsibly, with safeguards to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. We can't just focus on the tech, we need to think about the ethics, the societal impact.
It's a call to action, isn't it? We all need to be part of this conversation. Make sure the future of quantum computing is one that benefits everyone. So, listeners, you've heard us talk about the promises and the potential pitfalls of this technology. What are you thinking? What excites you? What worries you? What questions do you have? We encourage you to do your own research, keep exploring this amazing world of quantum computing. But for now, we're going to take a short break, and then we'll come back to wrap up our deep dive into Willow and what it all means for the future. And we're back, wrapping things up with our deep dive into Google's Willow chip and the whole wild world of quantum computing.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it? Exploring all the possibilities where this tech could take us.
From mind-blowing speed to, revolutionizing medicine, materials, even AI.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We did. From the basics of quantum mechanics to, well, the quantum apocalypse and all the cybersecurity concerns that come with it.
And of course, we talked about jobs, right? What happens to people's jobs when quantum computers can do them instead? And then the ethics of superintelligent AI. That whole can of worms.
Yeah, quantum computing is a powerful tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or bad.
So, big question. Where do we go from here? What are the key takeaways, the things you really want our listeners to remember from all this?
The first thing, honestly, is just how powerful this tech is. This isn't just a little upgrade, it's a whole new way of thinking about information, about solving problems.
Like going from horse and buggy to spaceship, right?
Exactly. And that much power, well, it comes with responsibility. We got to think about the risks, talk about the ethics, and make sure quantum computing is used to benefit everyone, not just a select few.
It's on all of us, isn't it? Not just scientists and politicians, but everyone. We got to stay informed, ask the tough questions, demand transparency. This tech is too important to ignore.
It really is. We're at a crossroads, and the decisions we make now, they'll shape the future, for better or worse.
So as we wrap up, one last thought to leave with our listeners. Quantum computing, it's still in its early stages. We're just seeing the tip of the iceberg.
The possibilities, they really are limitless. It's up to us to figure out what we do with this power, how we shape this future.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey into the quantum realm, everyone. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep.
And remember, the future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we build together.